I'm Gary Anderson. You're watching Behind the Bar with Paul Starr.
Welcome to Behind the Bar, Paul Starr, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. I'm happy to say I've been joined by Mace the Ace, Chris Mason. How you doing, Chris?
Very well, thanks, Paul. Good to speak to you.
And you too, mate. Last week, week number 2 of the PDC Premier League. Michael Smith, it got no better in the first game on against James Wade. Obviously, Thornton obviously couldn't make the event. Right, how on earth did he beat Barney? You know, these first two games. What happened?
I don't think he'll be using them darts again anyway. Let's put it that way. I don't think I've ever seen points. The only person I've seen use points like that before was Mark Dubbridge. They were literally like spears. I should imagine they're in the bin.
Yeah, I bet Taylor was happy that Barney played superb in his first 6 doubles against Phil the previous week, and then plays like that. Well, he loses to an 88 average. Unbelievable, really. But
that was just one of them things. I mean, the highlight for me was Taylor's performance on the back of some disappointment. He showed us why whoever does like to write him off, they shouldn't, because it's just a dangerous game to play. You can't predict with Taylor what he's going to do next. No. But it's very exciting.
No, absolutely. And of course, MVG was on form, as he was in the Dutch Darts match. That's 3 on the bounce for him. 112 plus average in the final against Daryl Gurney. Nice work, I'd say. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to Gurney. I mean, a fabulous run. He's threatened to do that for a while, actually. Even as far back when he was playing in the BDO system. He made the World Championships in the BDO and looked a player then, but now he looks a more complete player. He's very composed, nice kid. Yeah. Got something about him, which you need to have. But yeah, Michael was yet again just that dominant force. He looks unstoppable.
Yeah, and Mervyn King and Mensah Sudovic also made the semi-finals. Dan Perry, if we mention this, on Steve Brown, of course, of the Junior Darts Corporation, the first event of 2016 on the pathway to the Palace. He won down in Dorchester. And of course, the final is on stage at the William Hill World Championship. How nice is that? What a reward that is.
No, it's incredible. I mean, all credit to everybody involved. I know Steve has, played a massive part in it, but so's a lot of people behind the scenes, and I will be getting to one as soon as I can. As soon as one's sort of in a decent drive for me, I should go and give my support. So I think it's fabulous. I think, it's creating the next generation that will go on to, challenge and development tour and eventually get a tour card. Probably within I don't know, maybe 10 years, we're going to see someone come from that system win a major.
That would be fantastic. Week number 3 of the Premier League. Chris, we're in Dublin. If we look at the outrights, Peter Wright at even money, James Wade 9-5 looks quite big. 100-30 the draw. I would perhaps go for Peter Wright, but James Wade at 9-5, is that too big?
Possibly, but again, James been a bit up and down. I mean, he played well last week, but the majority of his average was a scoring one because Phil was so dominant. But James, another one at the minute. You just don't know what you're going to get with him. He can as well average at 100 as he can 80 odd. And as we know, he's a solid competitor. But my pick in that game is Wright most 180s at 4-7.
4-7, Peter Wright to hit most 180s. Okie doke. Second game on. This won't take long. Chizzy 5-6, 100-30 to draw, 9-4 Michael Smith. That seems big because Michael Smith has the advantage over Chizzy. I think 6-5 to Chizzy head to head, but Michael Smith won't worry about playing his old buddy there from St Helens. But you like the 180s again for Chizzy.
Yeah, again, I think with Michael, it's going to take him a while to settle in. I think we spoke about it before when we had a chat that, it's a whole different ball game getting in front of that kind of audience for the very first, it's his very first time in the Premier League. He showed he's got the ability by throwing some absolutely incredible darts at the UK Open qualifiers recently. I think he averaged 130 plus in one particular match. So, there's no doubt in the kid's got ability. I just don't think he was, I just don't think he's got quite that mentality and experience to hold it together in front of that many people on such a massive occasion. But that will come eventually. He will click. But again, I think so far he's not hit that many 180s. He's looked pressured. So my pick in there is that one, Chizzy, most 180s, 4-6.
4-6. Third game on. What about this? Repeat of the World Final a couple of years ago. Taylor and Anderson. The bookies can't split them. 11 away, the pair, 100-30 the draw. But again, it's the 180s you find a bit appealing for Mr. Anderson, Chris.
I thought Gary played well last week. I know he got beat, I think it was 7-3, but he averaged 106. Hit a fair few 180s. Should be well rested now. And unlike, a Thornton, Gary seems to be able to just sit away for a few weeks and then come back and it not affect him. But again, I like Gary, 8-13 stats wise. He's night and day above Taylor in terms of 180s over that kind of course and distance. But I also like in that match 25-1 either of them to hit a 9-darter. That's available if you have a look on the exchanges. You'll find that in there somewhere. I think we might see one this week.
25-1. Now, what about this one? MVG 4-7. 4-1 a draw, 3-1 Lewis, who is playing lovely, but MVG is playing at just such a level, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just so dominant, and the players will know. It's not like playing anywhere else where they can just walk in and take him on. They will go into that game knowing that they have to find another gear from where they are right now. And I think 4-7 is huge for Michael. And again, I think that game could produce a 9-dart. I think Lewis is playing well enough that he's going to push Michael. And when Michael's pushed and he stays switched on throughout a whole match, that's when he produces some spectacular stuff. So I like a 9 in that one as well, possibly.
9-1 at big odds. In fact, MVG's won the last 4 in their meetings. In the last game on, Thornton, of course, illness last week. The week before, he probably thought he wishes he was ill because he didn't turn up against Chizzy. He hasn't won a leg so far, of course. 9-4, which would normally look big, but somebody who hasn't been playing since the Masters, since the losing all the chucking away an 8-0 lead. 4-5 sort of even money, maybe Barney. Is that where you're going, Chris?
Yeah, that's where my money's going. RVB at even money. I just can't. Thornton is absolute quality, but he's had so many distractions. He's been unwell. Normally, the problem is with his injury with his foot. That's a reoccurring issue. In recent weeks, he's on top of that. He's had a terrible chest infection, like what Gary must have given to all the lads. That was a nice Christmas present. So yeah, I can't see past Barneveld in that one at even money. I think that's another good bet.
Rightio. So just to recap on there. So it's Wright hit the most 180s against Wadey. Chizzy do the same against Smith. Anderson do the same against Taylor. And a 25-1, 25-ish on a 9-dart. The same on the MVG Lewis. 4-7 MVG as well. And of course, Barney around by evens to beat Thornton.
Double Dutch tonight.
Double Dutch. Like it.
Double Dutch double.
So the UK Open, of course, ITV, you'll be down there. Of course, at the start of March. This weekend, days 4, 5 and 6. Mark Dubbridge, mate, he went flying, didn't he, on the first? He's at 9-dart. What's going on?
Opened up brilliant, hit the 9-darter, and he's got himself up to 1,500 quid already in that own individual order of merit that qualifies you for the UK Open. So he's pretty much home and hosed, which would be great to see him back on the. Hopefully, he gets a TV game. But yeah, I mean, some of the players need a run. Paul Nicholson only on 250 quid, he's not in. Wayne Jones 250, he's not in. Devon Peterson, who's a man in form, he's not in. Max Hopp, the young kid we rant and rave about, same on 250, and the same as Justin Pipe. They all need a real big move this weekend. Cristo Reyes, he's in at 750. My old mate Kevin Painter, he's in on 750. Christian Kist, Gerwin Price, all on 750. So they're right on the edge. They need probably another 250 to guarantee their place. I think around the £1,000 to be the cut-off.
Yeah, and if we have a look, obviously Gary didn't take part, but I think if we look on the prize money so far, with so many players playing, I know the cream comes to the top, but we've got something like MVG, Taylor, and Lewis right at the top already. The top 3 ranked players.
Just after 3 events,
yeah.
and also this weekend you got the Riley's amateur qualifiers. I think it's the final 3 or maybe 4. I'm not quite sure, and I'll be having to go in 2 of those. So. I might get my weekend off at the UK Open and just do an odd bit of commentary.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be nice. Doing a business on the board and then just
Durbridge first round. That'd be great.
That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? That's brilliant. Okay, Chris. Well, thank you so much for your time for joining us on Behind the Bar. Appreciate that, and we'll be watching on Thursday to see if we've landed any money for our viewers. Really.
See you soon, pal.
Cheers, mate. Great to catch up with Mace the Ace there, Chris Mason, Sky Sports, this Thursday, 7 p.m, of course, for the Premier League, and hopefully we found you some value. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. You can do that by clicking here. Of course, like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter, and join us next week on more Behind the Bar with Paul Star, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. We'll see you then.